Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 4th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery, and we've got some nighttime microphysics helping us peek out this marine layer across some of the Bay Area there in Southern California. You can see it bouncing around. You can also see what's known as ship trails as the ships move back and forth through the marine layer. You can see their pollutants and their condensation nuclei there kind of hangs out for a bit. Now, if we look to the northwest, you can see that strong storm system moving up towards Vancouver Island, and it's bringing some interesting precipitation towards Northern California. And we've got some flash flood watches up there, especially for the burn scar areas. And we've got another system rolling through Monday and Tuesday. Could bring some snowfall and some gusty winds to the Sierra Nevada, central and northern mostly. Also some rainfall maybe to the Bay Area. And we'll take a look at just how far south that may sag. We'll also look at the GFS coming up here. It's got some interesting systems coming up towards next weekend here. And we've got some model to model and run to run disagreements. We'll take a look at that as we go through the video here this morning. Taking a look here. Thanks for everybody that subscribed. We have now passed 5,000 subscribers. If you want to join the channel, you can click that join button down below. Yeah, you guys make this channel possible, and it makes it fun daily to come back here and do these weather videos and keep you guys up to date. Now, this day in SoCal weather history, check it out. 2010 highest November temperature here, triple-digit reading without 100 degrees. So you can still get pretty warm this time of year. Santa Ana tide, it's record high for the month with a record high of 101. And check out this lightning strike here. Back in 2015, you can still get some pretty stormy weather at this time of year. San Diego recorded 1.12 inches of rain, and some small hail fell in Mission Valley and Del Mar. Now, taking a look at the total rain Saturday through Tuesday here, it's been downtrending a little bit, but some of the models show a little bit higher amounts than this also. So hopefully you can squeeze maybe a couple tenths of an inch out here for some of the Bay Area, Sacramento, and better amounts across the higher terrain. And the further you go north as well. And this is that flash flood watch. You can see it here. And this would, include the burn scar areas out there. Some of this heavy rainfall could trigger some debris flows out there. You could get some falling rocks, and Highway 199 especially could make road conditions hazardous. So heads up for that, especially as we go through the day today and even into tomorrow. You can kind of see Sunday has some heavy precipitation rolling in for the same area there also. So heads up if you're traveling out and about across Northern California. Now, this is Reno, Nevada. They're talking about the more impactful storm here Monday through Tuesday, which could bring some high elevation snowfall and, we get some gusty winds as well. And I'll show you those weather model maps here in a moment. And, of course, we get an extra hour's sleep. This is for tomorrow night here, so set those clocks back. Yeah, it's going to get dark earlier, though, on the downside of that. Rainfall forecast. This is looking at Sacramento, and you can kind of see it shows similar, but not in quite agreement with the National Weather Service San Francisco. It shows up to 1/4 of an inch there. But, of course, higher amounts north and across the higher terrain there. And you can see the snow level lowering 7,000 feet early next week as the system rolls through. And if you guys want a nice, affordable home weather station, I also highly recommend this one. It saves you from spending over $1,000 on a nice home weather station. And this thing's got an ultrasonic anemometer, lightning detection system, no batteries, all solar powered. So click on that link down below if you want to save 10% off on that. Now, looking at the European, this is actually kind of hot off the presses right now because I'm doing it pretty early this morning. This is last night's run at 06Z is 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and this European model goes out about 90 hours here, but you can see some of that bigger precipitation amounts coming in as we go on in towards Monday morning. That's why they got the flash flood watch across some of the burn scar areas. But look at some of the amounts across some of the northern Sierra Nevada, just off to the west there of Lake Tahoe. Some pretty big amounts coming in here. And of course, we could get the upper elevation snowfall, some gusty winds, so pretty raw conditions off across some of the backcountry. And you can kind of see the cutoff here right across the Bay Area, maybe a little bit of precipitation further south starting to show up there also. Now, looking at accumulated 10-meter max wind gusts, basically the surface wind speeds here. If we go on in through, this is going on in through tonight, and kind of see the gusty winds starting across some of the Sierra Nevada here in Northern California, some gusts up over 40, and then another round and a potentially stronger storm as we go on in through Monday into Tuesday here. You can see some of these gusts, up over 50, 60 miles per hour here across the higher terrain and the ridges for the Sierra Nevada, central and northern especially. Now, taking a look at the European, this is 700 millibars, 10,000 feet, just giving you an example of what's going on here. You can see that system moving through the Pacific Northwest, and then you can see the cold air associated with the system rolling through Monday and Tuesday, sag down south across California at the very end of the run there, 90 hours. Just like to show the visual diagram of what's going on above us here. Again, at about 10,000 feet, you can see that colder air, and that will bring a cooling trend as we go through next week as well. We'll take a look at those temperatures here in a moment. This is total snow-Kuchera ratio in inches in the GFS. This is hot off the presses as well. Last night's run, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It takes a while for the runs to come out, but you can see this storm as we go through Tuesday. Some interesting amounts. I mean, you're talking about 8+ inches for some areas, and again, those gusty winds and raw, cool temperatures out there. And as we go off into the extent a little bit more, and it brings that next system across the next weekend, and this one includes a bit of Northern California, more of a chilly upper level low associated with that. And again, another round of snowfall maybe for the Sierra Nevada, mainly central and northern, and some of the higher terrain in Nevada, Utah, and Colorado getting some precip as well. Now, taking a look at the snow depth, this is a different way to look at things here because this takes into account any melting that occurs. So if we scroll ahead here and we see the precipitation and the snow across the Sierra Nevada on in through Monday, you notice it doesn't quite show as high as the actual snowfall that was falling because, of course, some of this melts as it falls. And then when the snow stops, it's still fairly, early November here, you're going to get some pretty good melting here when a system clears out. But then you can see the next one coming next weekend as well. And then you can see that kind of melt back a bit here also as we go through the extended forecast. So kind of an interesting look at things there, the snow depth. By the time you get out towards mid-November, you're not going to have much of that snow around according to the most recent GFS, but there's likely more to come after that. But anyway, just thought I'd show you guys that one. Here's the national blend of models. This is daily 2-meter max temperature speed for today. You can see some 80s across, right around 80 across some of the Central Valley. Pretty warm across Southern California, some of the desert areas, but pretty comfortable as well. In Death Valley, probably the bullseye there, about 97, 98 degrees. And as we scroll through the next few days, you can see the gradual cooling trend as we go on into next week. The valley only getting up to the mid-60s here, and the desert's cooling down. I mean, look at a lot of Arizona only getting to the upper 70s here. Southern California cooling down quite a bit as well. And then as we get towards next weekend, we might be dropping a chillier. It could be an inside slider here, but the last GFS as of yesterday afternoon showed some of this activity coming off of the coast a little bit more. But then last night's run trended a little bit more inside slider. But yeah, we'll watch that one as it goes. But it's definitely going to be somewhat of a cool down. You'll notice that as we go through next week. This shows the European. This is 2-meter temperature anomaly, kind of above average here across much of the Southwest. And as we scroll on in towards the early portion of next week, you can clearly see the chillier air arriving, bringing us to some below average conditions for much of the region as we go through the later portion of next week. Now we got the GFS versus itself. This is last night's run, the 06Z versus the 0Z run. So you're looking at 6-hour difference in the run here. And I want to show you what's going on here. We got the system bringing some precipitation in Northern California, the initial one, and the stronger one rolls through. Like I mentioned, the gusty winds, snowfall, some precipitation, maybe down for the Bay Area and Central California. And you can see this trough is a little bit stronger here. Actually, it drops a little bit further south on the GFS, just slightly more so. And then we've got the next system rolling in here. And you can see on yesterday afternoon's GFS, look at this much more dynamic trough here versus more of an inside slider here on the one that was last night, the model run last night. And this one means less precipitation associated with it. The further these dig out over the ocean, they pick up more moisture and they have better precipitation they can introduce back into the state of California. So this one would be a bit drier, but it would cool things down as we scroll further off into the future. Another trough hanging up there off the coastline. The purely fantasy for now. We'll just kind of watch that. You can see it was more progressive on yesterday afternoon's GFS, so differences starting to emerge there. Pretty typical when you look out far into a weather model run. Now, looking at what that would mean, this is the 06Z on the left again versus the GFS itself. See precipitation starting for Northern California, then the system drops down, bringing some mountain snow and the gusty winds as we go on in through Tuesday. And then we get a little bit of a break here. And then the GFS, the stronger system here, you can see it definitely bringing more precipitation across California, even to Southern California there, versus maybe just some across the Sierra Nevada, maybe the higher terrain of Nevada here, the more inside slider shown there. So that would be the biggest differences with that next system coming. As you can see, it'd be digging a little bit further off the coastline there. So just going over what the GFS has been going through here, model to model run discrepancies. 8 to 14 day temperature probability outlook, pretty widespread, near normal chances here for average conditions. And as we look at the 8 to 14 day precipitation probability, they're kind of picking up on that system dropping down across the area, and we do have some above average potential through this time frame here, but we continue to watch this and try to figure things out. And right now the signal is not too clear, so take that with a grain of salt. But anyway, yep, early start to things today. A pretty significant storm coming up here across the Pacific Northwest. So I thought I'd get up and kind of tell everybody what the latest updates were. And yeah, so eventually our turn will be coming. And yeah, that system that moves through here on the day Monday, it's pretty interesting here, especially if you're off in the backcountry. And again, some precipitation for the Bay Area northward. And watch out if you're, you guys know who you are around some of these burn scar areas. If you are, heads up for this precipitation incoming, because, it doesn't take too much to really cause some debris flow and some issues, especially on the back roads out there. So anyway, hope you guys are enjoying these videos. This channel's doing great. You guys make it possible. I look forward to some more active weather coming in here so the word gets out about the channel to more people and we can get everybody up to speed on what's coming in your immediate future. So anyway, we will do this again tomorrow. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys then.